The next thing to talk about is team culture. Your next 10 hires will shape your culture for years to come. So in the beginning, you're probably working around a team table. Information flows very easily from one person to another. Jeff Bezos, I think, said, you should be able to feed your team with 2 pizzas at a certain stage. So think of it that way. It's quite easy. The culture is kind of natural. It's the sum of the personalities around the table, more or less. And probably those folks already knew each other when they got into business together. So that's quite easy. But then you hire your next 10 people. You have to think about culture, because that's going to become like a minimal viable team. So you're going to add more salespeople, more developers, and you want to be designing a culture that those people are going to adopt, because otherwise that culture of the minimal viable team of, say, up to 50 people will be the sum of the personalities there, and it won't be something that you designed or really influenced. It will just kind of happen. And you may get lucky. That may become a culture that you enjoy being a part of, but you stand a much better chance of that happening if you design it and take a proactive approach. And obviously, that minimal viable team is going to influence the multiple locations, the scale-up organization that's more than 50 people. So it swells. So here's how you can design culture. We recommend getting your core team together today. Do a post-it note session of about 30 to 60 minutes and talk about your core values and how you are going to show your culture to people that join the team. Building a culture of transparency, innovation, risk-taking, how you will actually implement that through your employer branding, your storytelling, which team updates you have, how you meet together, what is the structures that you're going to have in place that reinforce the culture that you want to encourage. You also want to think about how you're going to attract diverse candidates into that culture. Diverse companies are 35% more likely to outperform people in their same industry. And they're also more likely to have great financial results, 36% more likely. Recently, I was asked about diversity on stage and how to go about this, but it just makes great sense. If you are building something that's going to change the world and you really want to make a massive impact, but you look up from your laptop and everybody in your team looks and sounds a lot like you may have a problem. If you don't even have representation of your audience in your team, then how can you understand the needs of many of your customers and communication strategies? Super important. Plan out your remote and hybrid strategies. Nearly all employees, new people joining, are expecting some form of hybrid working or remote working these days. It's probably not news to most people listening to this.